Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. Man, it's a beautiful day outside. I'm loving this weather. It's still January and it is so beautiful outside. I'm back and I've got an interesting video for you. Today I want to talk about a LED flashlight sent to me by Sofirn, out for review. I'm very excited about this. This is an 18650 battery platform and the model number is SP32 version 2. There's the back. I'll read that to you here in a second. So on the side it says, it's written in a different language, but it says, "Make the night bright as day." Sofirn is registered in 2010, which specialized in outdoor lights and tools, chargers and batteries, such as budget, high-quality flashlights, bike lights, camping lanterns. Sofirn flashlights are being sold worldwide, especially in America, Australia, Europe, Russia, South Korea, and Japan. Concentrating on innovation, in-house development, manufacture, and customer-oriented service, Sofirn LED flashlights are widely used in household lighting, everyday carry or EDC, outdoorsy activities, industry, security, law enforcement, and military, etc. The pursuit is to light your entire world in front of you by manufacturing budget yet high quality products and providing excellent customer service. Look at their contact information in case you want to reach out. So the first thing we see here is the whole package comes out. There's nothing left in the box, so I'll set the box aside. And we have the owner's manual right here, right there. We have the happy or not happy card, which I think this is pretty funny, pretty cool, because if you're happy, you read the back and it tells you we're happy that you're happy. And then if you're not happy, you read this other side and it basically gives you their contact information. So that's pretty interesting. So in the package, not only do we have the instruction manual and the happy or non-happy card, but we also have some silica gel, which we don't need. And in here, we have 2 replacement O-rings as well as a lanyard for the flashlight. I thought that was a nice touch. Right here, we have a battery charger for the included 18650 battery that comes in this flashlight. Now it's pretty neat here. It's a spring-loaded battery charger, and you plug in the wire here. It's a micro USB cable, which is included with the flashlight. So it's USB 2 on one side and micro USB on the other side. So this USB 2 can be plugged into your battery bank. It could be plugged into your wall outlet, your computer, your solar panel, your vehicle, a lot of things that you can plug this into. And then of course you plug the rest of it in here. It's tight because it's brand new, just like that, and you have a little LED indicator which will tell you the charging process. So it's pretty cool, and this will work on 26 650s, 18 650s, 16 340s, and 14 500s, as well as the 10 440 batteries. So this is pretty cool. It does a wide range of batteries. So it's a pretty cool little charger. Hopefully you can read that text there. So I thought that was pretty cool. And last but not least, we have the flashlight itself. This is packaged very well from the factory. So here is a first look at the SP32 version 2. Pretty cool looking flashlight. It's got a nice pocket clip on it. It's a nice steel pocket clip. There's a look at the lens. If you look at the lens, you can see that it's a smooth lens. There's no eggshell or orange pill type reflector. It's a smooth reflector. Cool thing about this lens is it's glass, and it also says right here that the light gets hot. So it's pretty cool. Let's take this tail cap off, and what you'll see is the installation card, which rests against the battery for shipping, so that if this card is not in there, then the battery is able to make contact and the light could be turned on during shipping, and they don't want that. They don't want to drain the battery or create heat, right? So they put that card in there to break the continuity. There's a look at the tail cap. Pretty nice. And let's take a look at the battery. This is an 18650 lithium ion battery running at 3000 milliamp hour. That's pretty good. 3.7 volt rechargeable battery. Pretty nice, made in China. Gives you a little bit of directions. There's the positive end right there, and here is the negative or flat end. You can see here on the battery tube that there is an O-ring that I can raise with my fingers. So remember the package that had the little lanyard in it, it had 2 replacement O-rings. One of them can go here, and the other one can go right here on the other end of the battery tube. Okay, right there. Hopefully you can see that right there. Now, one question that always comes to mind is, can I reverse this battery tube into the flashlight? Let's find out. Looks like the answer is yes. You can reverse the battery tube, which to me is pretty cool, because that means you can change the orientation of the belt clip for a different carry option. Okay, so you could have it like that versus the way it was down below. But I'll go ahead and switch it back. Now when you close this, you can see the smooth area inside of here. When this O-ring comes in contact with that, and as you tighten it, right about there, it squishes that O-ring underneath that area, and that's what develops the IPX8 rating of this flashlight as far as waterproofness. Pretty cool. If you look at the mode switch or the power switch, it's all done right here by this single switch. You can see that there's a little LED in the center of that, and that LED tells us the condition of the battery. I'll get to that a little more here in a second. You can see the little fins that are ground into this. It's just a nice looking flashlight. Nice glass lens. There's the LED. Now to insert the battery, you take the positive end, the end with the plus, you put it into the flashlight like so, and then of course you have the flat end on the back, and we just tighten up the battery, tail cap rather. And again, just like on this side, we're going to take that O-ring right there, and when we start to compress that O-ring, that's when we seal it up, and that's how we get that IPX8 rating. So that's waterproof underwater, folks. That's pretty cool. Now there's 2 things that this thing does that's really cool. It's got 2 different groups of functionality. Now group 1 is going to be from this line. Okay, you see group 2 right there? It's going to be from this line up. That's group 1. So on group 1 you have economy, which is 5 lumens, which will last 260 hours. It'll have 10 meters of throw, and it'll be a peak intensity of 23 candela. Then if you go up to low, you're dealing with 50 lumens for 26 hours and 30 minutes, 32 meters, 261 on the candela rating. Then you go up to medium, 160 lumens. This is the setting that I would probably use the most. That'll last 9.5 hours. It has 56 meters of throw, and the candela rating on that is 788. Then of course you can go up to high of 500 lumens, 3.5 hours basically, well 3 hours and 35 minutes, 100 meters of throw, so that's a football field. The candela rating on high is 2565. And then we have a turbo function, and we will get a 1300 lumen turbo for 2.5 hours. 153 meters of throw, 5856 on the candela rating. And then of course we have a 1300 lumen strobe function. Okay, so that's all group 1. So in group 1 we have 6 individual modes. Let's take a look at that. Let's turn the flashlight on. So right there you can see that it's on economy. If I push the button, it'll go to low, medium, high, and then if I double click, it goes to turbo, and then if I triple click, I got to do it a little faster, it'll go to that strobe. Now that strobe goes fast and then it slows down. Okay, so this is an example of group 1. If I push to turn this thing off, and when I turn it back on, it does have a memory function where it'll remember the last setting that I was on. So basically it's very simple. You just continue to push the button till you get whatever setting you want. Say I want that setting. When I push and hold, it turns it off, and when I push, it'll come right back to the previously accessed setting. So it's pretty cool. So group 1 is pretty cool. Economy, 260 hours, 5 lumens. That's a pretty good, and I think 260 hours, I did the math yesterday and I think it came out to like 10.8 days or something like that. Okay, so now when you turn the flashlight off, if you want to change from group 1 to group 2, then what you'll do is you'll push this button and hold it until the flashlight blinks. Blink, blink, blink. Now we're on group 2. Now let's talk about group 2 here. Let's look back at the owner's manual and let's talk about group 2. Group 2 is ramping from economy to turbo, and then it also has strobe. So you can go from 5 lumens all the way up to 1300 lumens. The way that you would do that is you would turn the flashlight on, and now you see the green battery indicator there. That means our battery is fully charged. Now to change the lumen ratings or the setting on group 2, we're just going to push and hold the button, and we will watch the light go down infinitely, and then it'll get to the bottom. So you could choose any setting anywhere in the spectrum. It flashes when it gets to the top. I let up on the button, and then it'll flash again when it gets to the bottom. See that? So that's how it works. So again, let's just push and hold the button. It slowly gets more intense, and then it blinks when it gets to the top of the spectrum. Now again, to access turbo, double click, and then to access strobe, triple click. So that's group 2. Now my personal opinion is I like group 2. I think it's pretty cool. Again, group 2, just like group 1, it has a memory function. So if you turn it off, you like that particular setting. When you turn it on, it'll come right back to that setting, and pay close attention to this green LED indicator here. See that? It's shining green. It's telling me that the battery is fully charged. Now this flashlight is impact resistant down to 3.28 feet or 1 meter. And like I mentioned earlier, it's IPX8 rated, okay, down to 2 meters. That's 6.5 feet depth of underwater. When it comes to the memory mode, the flashlight will remember the last brightness level that was used in the general modes except for strobe. This flashlight has advanced temperature regulation technology, and it'll adjust the brightness level automatically when the driver temperature reaches 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit to prevent overheating. It also has an automatic step down. So in turbo mode, it'll step down to high after 3 minutes of operation to prevent overheating. Now back to the power indicator. The LED indicator on the side switch blinks green for 5 seconds if the remaining battery charge is over 30%. When the indicator turns to red, the battery is charged below 30%. A flashing red light indicates low power, so when you see low power, it's time to replace or recharge your battery. Now it says here in the owner's manual, do not mix new and used CR123 lithium-ion batteries. So don't do that. And it says that the strobe mode may cause seizures in people with photosensitive epilepsy. Operating for long periods of time in high mode will warm up the flashlight. This is normal. And do not stare directly into the beam or point it directly at anyone's face. This is bedrock right here. Bedrock. And I'm dropping it. Now let's take a look and see. And it looks like it's functioning just fine to me. So let's try that drop test one more time. I've got it on economy, low, medium, high. Let's go to turbo. Let me drop it one more time. From hip high right onto this bedrock. That's a pretty good drop. Let's drop it butt first. Drop it lens first. I hate doing this part of the test. Now let's drop it sideways. Let's drop it, let's kind of throw it down. Okay, I noticed the flashlight stopped. Let me make sure everything's still tight. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Does the flashlight still work? Well, before we check it, we'll take a look for wear and tear. Look at right there on the lens. I threw that thing down pretty hard. Right there. It's kind of beat up a little bit, right? I hate doing this with a brand new flashlight, but as a YouTube flashlight reviewer, I need to do that so I can show you guys, the viewers, that these products are really solid. Sofirn, I've never had a failure on any of their flashlights. So again, the glass is intact, and I threw that thing down pretty good. I don't see anything bad on the bottom end there. A little bit of scratching and stuff. Let's test the modes. Okay, everything looks good as far as the modes are concerned. We're on economy right now. Let's turn it off. Now let's push and hold and go to group 2. Okay, now again, to change the brightness level in group 2, we are going to push and hold. That's the highest of the group 2. See how it's going down? Down to the economy setting. Now let's double click again for turbo. Got turbo. Now let's triple click. So the flashlight is functioning just fine. Let's go back to group 1. Okay, now from here again, each press of the button changes the mode. It's pretty crazy. Boy, that could be so disorienting. And let's go down to the low economy mode, and we'll just go ahead and turn the flashlight off. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a solid flashlight. So I want to say thank you to Sofirn for sending this out for review. I really enjoy this one. It's a nice flashlight. It's pretty tough. It's pretty durable. Even though it left a little bit of marks and stuff like that on it. I think this is going to be a solid performer. And I want to check the IPX8 rating, so let's go ahead and dunk this baby underwater here. Can you see the light shining? Look at that. Okay, let's go to turbo. Whoops. There we go. Well, I went down a mode. Look at that. Shining just fine. Now let's take a look and let's go through the modes here. Looks like everything's working good on group 1. Now let's change this over to group 2. So let's turn this off. Let's turn it on to group 2. Okay, now let's go to turbo on group 2. Let's put it in the water. This water's cold. You can see that I'm dunking this thing. Now let's see if it cycles down. Okay, right now I'm on economy, and you can see some of the stuff around here. If I bump it up, to low, you can see a little bit better. Let's give the camera time to focus. Go to the next setting. That's medium. There's high. So you got a pretty good view, and let's try turbo. Whoops. There's turbo. That is turbo. Now strobe warning, everybody. So that's a pretty bright light. I'm going to go to group 2 here. Okay, and you can see that there's a little bit of shrubs in front of me. I'm going to just go ahead and show the brightness of the light here. Look at that. That thing just goes up, and then it blinks when it gets to the highest setting. And then let's go down. I really like group 2. And from any of these settings, if I double click, I go straight to turbo. Full brightness, 1300 lumens. So if we go down, let's say we're looking down in this direction. Okay, you can't quite tell what's going on, but if I slowly illuminate a little brighter, you can start to see what's going on down there. Look at that. Let's do another strobe. So that's a pretty significant amount of light, and I like the pattern, the beam pattern of this light. I mean, it puts out a pretty solid beam of light. I'm looking down in a riverbed area, kind of looking at what's going on down there, and this thing's putting out plenty of light to, I can see quite a bit of what's going on down there. Very clear picture. I like this light. Again, you got that infinity all the way down and all the way up. There's the bottom. And then it just goes down, goes back up. And I like, how it blinks when it gets to max brightness. And we're looking off in the distance, probably at least 100 yards. Well, folks, I want to say thank you for joining me today on this video review of the Sofirn model SP32A version 2. This is a single 18650 lithium ion rechargeable battery flashlight 1300 lumens on turbo. I think it's a solid performer. I think this is a good light. You know, I brought it out, I did this review, I beat it up on some bedrock. That's pretty tough. You know, I was pretty rough on this little flashlight, and it still performs just fine. There's no problems. As you could see earlier in the video, the waterproofness was ideal. It worked just fine. So I want to say thank you for joining me today on this review. I want to say thank you to Sofirn for sending this out for me to review. And I hope you guys got some good, useful information out of this video. Please feel free to leave your comments down below, like this video, share this video, and as always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Later.